What's up, guys, and welcome once again to another episode of Sunday Brunch with Soy Ricardo, and I am your host. On this week's show, we're going to be showing you guys one quick tip on 3 easy ways that you can set up your white balance. Now, if you are new here or if you never seen Sunday Brunch with Soy Ricardo, let me just briefly explain. The way this works is that every Sunday, I'm gonna be giving you guys a little quick tip on how I can make your YouTube career a little bit easier. I know that when I started, I was constantly on YouTube watching videos on how to do every little thing because I didn't know how to do it. So last week's video, we actually learned how to set up your Rode Video Micro, which is this little thing right here. Now that we have our camera, now that you have your microphone and you set them up, on this week's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys 3 easy steps to correctly set your white balance. Now, you may be asking, what is white balance? And that is something that I myself was asking at the beginning as well, because I had no idea how to set it. White balance is the process of removing unrealistic color cast so that objects which appear white in person are rendered white in your photo. Proper camera white balance has to take into account the color temperature of the light source, which refers to the relative warmth or coolness of white light. So that is pretty much it, and that is what white balance is. I'm going to be teaching you guys 3 simple steps to correctly set your white balance. Now, let's not waste any more time and let's jump into this week's video. But first, it is Sunday Brunch with Soy Ricardo, which it wouldn't be without our little friend here. Good. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the first way to correctly set your white balance. Now, in this particular way, it's going to be pretty simple. Now, all cameras, depending on which camera you have, I have a Canon 90D. Now, they all have a white balance menu system, which consists of 2 menus. One, where you can set a custom white balance, and then 2, where it has a whole bunch of white balance profiles. Now, what do I mean by this? You know, you have daylight, you have tungsten light, you have fluorescent light, and you can even set your own white balance if you know which Kelvin you want to use. For example, I know that daylight is more than likely 5200 Kelvin. So I know that if I want my white balance to know that I'm shooting in daylight, I'm gonna put 5200 Kelvin. All right, guys, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Now, the very first way that I'm gonna teach you how to correctly set your white balance is probably like the easiest one possible. So basically what you're gonna do, you are going to go into your white balance menu and you're basically just going to select auto white balance. If you don't really know exactly how to set your white balance, or if you're having trouble, or if you're in a lot of changing light, we recommend, or I recommend, that you just leave it on auto white balance. So that is the first and easiest way to do it. Now, this could change. You also don't want to have the incorrect white balance, because then you're gonna start looking a little bit like this. It's kind of like bluish. And you don't want that. You want your white balance to be good. You want your skin colors to be good. So that is why we don't usually recommend you leave your camera on auto white balance. We're gonna go ahead and move to number 2. Now, the second way to correctly set your white balance is by manually putting in those numbers. So basically, there is a Kelvin scale that goes from warm colors to cool colors. Daylight usually falls right about in the middle at 5200 Kelvin to 60 something Kelvin. So that is so you can kind of know what type of white balance you're gonna be getting. If you want a little bit warmer color or a little bit cooler colors, these are the numbers that you will need to adjust. Now, for this particular example, since we are doing daylight, we're just gonna go ahead and type in 5200 Kelvin in the custom white balance option. Now, this option, it's on your white balance menu and it's at the very last option where you can manually set your white balance. All right. And the third and final way to correctly set your white balance is going to be by taking a photograph of something white. Now, this is probably the best way to do it. They actually sell white balance cars, which kind of look like these. In fact, I'm just gonna throw a picture of it right here, and you can see it. So these are white balance cars, and all you have to do is take a picture of it. You're gonna go into your white balance settings, you're gonna go to custom white balance, and it's gonna automatically tell you if you wanna take the data from the previous photo, which is the photo of the white item that you took. Now, this can either be a piece of paper, anything that is white will work. And now your camera is gonna take the data from that image and correctly adjust your white balance. Now, this is probably the most accurate way to do it, and with these little cards are probably the best way to set your white balance. So that is pretty much it, guys. I told y'all this was gonna be easy, and yeah, this is 3 easy ways to correctly set your white balance. Alright guys, so that was pretty much this week's video. If you did like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. That really helps out a lot. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can get notified for future videos. And if you have any suggestions for future Sunday Brunch episodes, please put them down below. Always welcome new ideas for this part of the show. So with that said, guys, thank you again so much for watching, and now we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.
I'm in the top floor, chilling in the suite. Big cigars, breaking down the Swisher Sweets. Rolling up grape ape until I'm asleep. Look, I cannot lie. Look me in my eyes, I got money on my mind. Smoking till my eyes on the bleed. Smoking, looking like I'm Johnny. Stack up, I just maintained in a week. Back up.